think we're ready to start now. Welcome to Whitland Avenue. On behalf of the host of this event, we are so glad that you can be with us. What started as a small street celebration 45 years ago has now continued, and we're so glad that you are with us. The desire to be together is even stronger this year. So today we will lift up the founding of our country with the words and music of the day. Jay Dawson is back. He says he's been here 100 years. He only looks that way. Jay, thank you so much for your leadership and your ageless presence with us each 4th of July. Thank you, Jay. Chris Simonson is with us again this year, and he will lead us in song. So now, without further ado, let the music begin.
Day. Thanks for being here. It's a great day. Of course, that's the Whitland Avenue Symphonic Wind Ensemble. The band that neither rehearses nor tunes. But when you're the greatest musicians in a town of great musicians, who needs that stuff anyway? I think back to This is the 45th edition of Whitland Avenue 4th of July. Got me thinking that's over half of my life that I've been on Whitland Avenue on Independence Day. I don't know about you, but that's over half of your life that we've had this wonderful celebration, and it's still as great as it ever was. In 1886, the Statue of Liberty was dedicated. And in 1986, after a significant renovation, the Statue of Liberty was rededicated. And for that occasion, John Williams wrote a piece called Liberty Fanfare. We played Liberty Fanfare in 1986 because we had a special secret connection to John Williams, the Jurassic Park, Star Wars, etc., John Williams, and we played it, and we were the first band in the United States to play it. Right here on Whitland Avenue, we're going to play it this morning. Liberty Fanfare. We are so lucky to have Chris Simonson, our Whitland Avenue vocalist, who's going to step up now. And we come to one of our favorite parts, the Patriotic Sing-Along. So Chris is going to lead the Whitland Avenue Choral Society in the Patriotic Sing-Along. And by the way, the Whitland Avenue Choral Society is you.
So here we go with a nice gang sing. Y'all throw your heads back and sing with me, okay? You promise you're going to do that with me? Oh, come on, you can do better than that. You promise you're going to do that for me? There you go. Your lyrics are on the fans. Yankee Doodle Dandy, I'm a Yankee Doodle Die, a real live nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. I've got a Yankee Doodle sweetheart. She's my Yankee Doodle joy. Yankee Doodle came to London just to ride the ponies. I am that Yankee Doodle boy. My country, 'tis of the sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of gray, for purple mountain majesty of the rugged plain. America, God shed his grace on thee, and crowned thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. You're a grand old flag, you're a high-flying flag, think forever. The and the brave. Sorry about that, folks. Every heart beats true for the red, white, and blue, but there's never a boast or brag. Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the faithful lightning, his terribles with sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. Give yourselves a huge hand. That was awesome. Jay, I give the Choral Society an A+.
God bless America. Oh, God, now? Yeah. And we probably don't even need to. All right. Remember the 2 bars?
Yep, are cut.
Hey, Grant.
We're going to do God Bless America.
No trumpet solo. Right? No trumpet solo.
This is my favorite patriotic song, written by Irving Berlin. As the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair, as we raise our voices in a solemn land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the prairie, to the ocean white with foam. My home, sweet home. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairie, to the ocean, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my
Veterans Salute in Boca Lupo.
Yeah, and then we'll do
In the Mouth of the Wolf.
America the Beautiful.
Okay. What are we doing next?
Here's another favorite part of our celebration today, where we recognize veterans of every branch of the military. And we're going to play the song of each branch, and we want you to stand and be congratulated and appreciated when we play your song.
Thank you.
This year, Whitland Avenue lost one of its most staunch supporters, and the band lost a great friend in Ralph Mosley. And we'd like to dedicate this next number to Ralph's memory and to Julie, a beautiful arrangement of America the Beautiful. guys. Good job, good job.
Thank you, Jay and Chris, and what we think of lovingly as our Whitland Avenue Band. It is an honor to have Mayor John Cooper with us today, and at this time he will come forward and lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance, and then Chris will be back up to help us sing the Star-Spangled Banner.
So great to see everybody here today. Are we ready? Shall we rise and begin? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Frank.
Would you please remain standing and remove your caps as we honor America with our national anthem?
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red where the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hey! Hey! Hey!
We need somebody to come hold this.
One other thank you that we have, in addition to our band, is that we have a gentleman who has put together or gathered the band for many, many years, and that's Dwayne Pigg. Dwayne, would you stand up and let us recognize you? We also want you to know how much we appreciate our band. Many of our band members have been with us over 40 years, and so we appreciate that they make time together with us each 4th of July. And so one more time for the band. Thank you. And we're always honored to have Mayor John Cooper here. We have other public servants here as well. We want to recognize our Councilwoman, Kathleen Murphy, our Councilperson at Large, Berkeley Allen, State Representative John Ray Clemens, and State Senator Jeff Yarbrough. Thank you for your service. Today, as Jay alluded to, we also want to remember Ralph Mosley. Ralph was a very successful businessman and a consummate community volunteer and leader, including extensive work with the Nashville Symphony. Ladies and gentlemen, he loved this band. It was almost his favorite part of this day. Ralph loved this city, he loved this street, and he loved his Julie. And Julie is with us today, and if you see Julie, say hello. And Julie, remember that we're thinking about Ralph today too. On the street, Ralph was simply our Ralph. He was the party planner and the hot dog man for the 4th of July. We all found reasons to run to him simply because we needed to be with him. Ralph, today we remember you and celebrate your wonderful life. So would you please join me in a moment of silence as we not only remember Ralph, but remember all of those that we are missing today. Please join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. Chip Arnold has been part of the 4th of July family from the beginning. The recitation of the Declaration of Independence on this day began with his father, Henry. Chip has brilliantly continued this tradition, sharing his talent and love for the spoken word. So we welcome Chip again to share the words of the day and the truths that we continue to try to live into in our great experiment, which we call democracy.
When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive to these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress, assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be, free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connections between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have the full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor.
Maybe we need to hear that every year, every month, maybe. Thank you, Chip. As we think about the freedoms we have in this country, our hearts go out to the people of Ukraine, who are engaged in their own struggle for freedom. We are very proud to have, as our speaker today, a former member of our military who trained with members of the Ukrainian military prior to the Russian invasion of the country. Joe Burat is a graduate of West Point. He was stationed at Fort Campbell with the 101st Airborne, then moved to Vicenza, Italy, where he trained with numerous NATO partners, including forces from Ukraine. He knows firsthand the challenges they face. Joy also deployed in Afghanistan, the Horn of Africa, and his final posting was as commander of Chosen Company, the Chosen Few, an airborne rifle infantry company comprised of 141 paratroopers. Today, Joe is focused on higher education administration with the intent to become a college president in the long term. Please welcome Joe to Whitland Avenue.
Good afternoon and happy 4th of July. My name is Joe Barron, and I'm incredibly grateful to say a few words today. It's a tough act to follow that excellent rendition of the Declaration of Independence, but I'll do my best. Thank you for that warm introduction. First, I'd like to welcome our elected officials today, Mayor John Cooper, Congressman Cooper, Vice Mayor Schulman, Senator Jeff Yarborough, and Representative Clemens. Thank you for celebrating with us today. I'd also like to extend a special thank you to Judge George Payne, David Fox, Fran Stewart, and Scott Brower for including me in today's celebration. Make no mistake, this is a world-class event. The Whitland community should be incredibly proud of itself this year and every year. Well done to the exceptional band and the countless folks who work tirelessly behind the scenes to make this happen. Your efforts aren't lost on us. A word of warning to you all. Both my parents are Presbyterian ministers. After hearing their sermons for over 30 years now, I've learned a few tricks of the trade when addressing a crowd. A shared technique between both of them was to ease their parishioners into an hour-long sermon with a corny joke. Rest assured, I'll spare you the corny joke. I'll keep this speech to a cool 45 minutes, and we'll call it even. A bit of background on myself. I grew up in a small town, Ohio, the youngest of 3 siblings. Played 3 sports, tried my best to stay out of trouble, and dreamed of becoming a professional baseball player. As it turns out, I couldn't hit a fastball to save my life. However, serving my country was. I was privileged to enter the United States Military Academy and graduated in the summer of 2014. I'll skip my Army stories to spare you all the 45-minute speech, but the bottom line is this. I served with incredible people from every corner of the globe, of the country. I was sent to far-off places and given experiences and life lessons I cherish. Today and every day, I wake up grateful for my time in the military. So you may be asking yourselves, why is this guy speaking today? And more importantly, when will he finish so I can eat? All valid questions. I'll get to the point and be brief. The main reason I'm speaking today is to highlight the very real connection our Independence Day shares with the citizens of Ukraine. In my final years in the military, I was stationed in Vicenza, Italy, as a part of the 173rd Infantry Brigade Combat Team. I trained with NATO partners across Europe, jumping out of airplanes together, enduring the austere elements together, and sharing more cigarettes than I'd like to admit or tell my mother. While stationed in Europe, I also had a rare instance of training and interacting with Ukrainian forces. While brief, those interactions left a profound impact on me. I'd like to spend the last few minutes highlighting those interactions and the parallels shared between the Ukrainian struggle and our Independence Day. Simply put, the Ukrainians are tough, they're disciplined, and they're loyal. These sentiments should not come as a surprise. Here we are, almost 6 months after the initial Russian invasion, and the Ukrainian military and its citizens fight on. Against all odds, against what many experts considered an enemy force comparable to that of the United States, the Ukrainian people persevere. Pitted against an autocratic regime determined to impose its will on its neighbor, the country of Ukraine continues to fight for its inherent right to chart its own destiny. I'll be the first to admit that I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but at face value, that short synopsis sounds very, very similar to our nation's founding. The words we just heard in the Declaration of Independence give credence to that fact. It is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. I'd offer one short vignette to capture that connection between our founding fathers and the citizens of Ukraine. The environments I found myself in with our NATO partners and Ukrainian brothers and sisters were not life and death. They were purely training events, situations and scenarios crafted to test our mettle and produce soldiers and units able to overcome any obstacle in any environment. What stood out to me, even in training, was their resolve and focus. They treated each scenario and each engagement with reckless abandon. Their equipment was dated, their supplies were minimal, and their comforts were few and far between. Yet they never complained, they never lost focus, and they never lost the faith. Much like our founding fathers on July 4th, 1776, they chose the harder right over the easier wrong, to prepare, to sacrifice, and if necessary, to give their lives for their country's future. Today we celebrate our nation's independence. It is my hope that you take a moment to reflect on the price of liberty here in the United States, as well as abroad for the citizens of Ukraine. The speech is short for a reason. No words of mine are more important than your own personal reflections about today, what it stands for, what it means to be an American, and what it means to be an advocate for freedom. Here's the bottom line. Being American on July 4th is easy. It's easy to wear patriotic clothing and grill hot dogs on a beautiful day like today. It is easy to post pictures of fantastic fireworks shows on social media. But patriotism to me means so much more. Like any skill or trait, it is one to be honed, nurtured, and refined. So you might ask, what can I do tomorrow and the days that follow to show my patriotism? What can I do to show my love of country, even with all its flaws, blemishes, and imperfections? I'd offer this. Speak less and listen more. Empathy goes a long way. Listen to opposing viewpoints and try to find common ground. Honor our servicemen and women, both active and veteran alike. I would charge you not to say thank you for your service, but instead, I know the burden you bear. How are you doing? What can I do to help? You'll be surprised at what you might hear and how you affect that man or woman. If you are able, fly the stars and stripes at your home. Display it proudly. The simple act of raising and lowering our nation's flag provides a moment to reflect on all the opportunities we have as Americans. Like Johnny Cash, I'm mighty proud of that ragged old flag, and I hope you are too. Support our Ukrainian brothers and sisters. Freedom comes at a great cost. I encourage you to find and support charities, nonprofit organizations that provide food and medical care to Ukrainian citizens affected by the war. Finally, I would charge you to serve your neighbor. One particular Latin phrase holds great meaning to me. It means non nobis solum. It means not for ourselves alone. It's a simple sentiment, small or large, seen or unseen. Challenge yourself to find ways to be a positive impact on your community. Thank you for allowing me to share a few words today. It truly was an honor. Now let's spend time with friends and family, eat some great food, and celebrate the many freedoms we have in our country. God bless America, and happy 4th of July. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Joe, for those words of inspiration. We conclude our program with some final round of thank yous. First, to our sound man, Martin Kicklauder. He comes every day to make sure that we can hear. Long time ago, there was someone named Slick Lawson, and Slick always grilled us afterwards about who could hear and how far could they hear and how clear was it. And we thought it was just because Slick wanted to be heard. But anyway, we are glad to have a better sound program now. Thank you, Martin. And thank you. And one final thank you to all of our patriots. The 22 host families do a lot of the work, but we could not do this without the financial support of our patriots. So if you're a Whitland Avenue patriot, wave your hand. Thank you. Now Jay will lead us in one final tune, and then when the music stops, The hot dogs will be ready, okay? Maybe after COVID we can look at the food tent, but now we still have the famous street hot dogs. And so until next year, happy 4th of July, and may God bless the United States of America.